We have a lot to get to.
Jake, I think what we just watched is, what it looks like when someone has got to go through just unbelievable contortions to try to find a way to defend the person that J.D. Vance himself called America's Hitler.
Kamala is campaigning with Muslim-hating warmonger Liz Cheney, who wants to invade practically every Muslim country on the planet. And let me tell you, the Muslims of our country, they see it and they know it. Her father was responsible for invading the Middle East, killing millions of Arabs, millions.
Look, attack me, that's fine. You can do that all you want. But the Trump campaign, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, they absolutely understand how damaging it is for the American people to see all of these unprecedented levels of senior officials from the Trump administration telling the American people that Donald Trump is unfit. And so, they concoct these things that are completely divorced from any connection to the truth. They know that at his core, Donald Trump, he really has no conscience. They know that he's erratic. They know that he's chaotic. They know that he's cruel. And they're telling the American people that. And so it does take a lot of contortions and a real desperation to try to convince people that they shouldn't listen to those who know Donald Trump best. And so J.D. Vance and Donald Trump think that the right solution there is to go in and reward Putin for what he's done, reward all of his adversaries for what they've done, rather than stand with our allies. So I think that what you saw is a mix of desperation and naivete, and just a really, an attempt to do the best I think he can figure out how to do to convince the American people not to believe what they know to be true about Donald Trump.
Last night, Donald Trump sat down for an interview with Tucker Carlson at a live event, and it went exactly as you would expect. Trump was angry. He was out of control. He was losing his mind. But then, the interview took a much darker, more sinister turn. Trump shifted from his usual enemy from within rhetoric to something far more unsettling. He directed his anger at Liz Cheney, and then, shockingly, began to threaten her life. The words that followed were chilling. So much so that both Tucker and the crowd fell completely silent, caught in a state of utter shock. It was disgusting. It was disturbing. And we are going to break it all down. But before we do, if I could ask you to quickly leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and really means the world to me. Now, let's dive into this chilling interview with Trump and Tucker.
To break the country.
It could be they hate our country. I mean, they may hate our country. And we deal with real scum. I mean, like a guy like Adam Shifty Schiff. He's a sleazebag. And he's probably going to be a senator, if you can believe it. But I call him Watermelon Head. He has the... No, he's unattractive, both inside and out. That is... No, but this is a really bad guy. This is a dishonest guy, not a dumb guy at all. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen on a human being. He will never be a football player, I can tell you. But he's a smart guy, but he's just a sleazebag. There's nothing else you can... I'll give you...
Like I said, Donald Trump, right out of the gate, was clearly angry, clearly aggrieved, as he always is going after Adam Schiff. But is this really his closing message? Kamala Harris is talking about turning the page, unity, moving forward. Meanwhile, Trump remains fixated on his so-called enemies from within. And as we'll see, this obsession is about to take a dangerous turn. His words became sharper, his tone darker as he continued, growing angrier and angrier right here.
I say the enemy from within, and I said, look, we have China, we have Russia, we have Kim Jong-un of North Korea, we have a lot of people out there. But if you have a smart president, I had a great relationship with President Xi until the China virus came in, and that was a bridge too far, but we'll have a very good relationship. And there's reasons for them to want to like us. There's big reasons. But if you have a smart president that kind of smart, meaning with people, if you have a smart president, somebody that knows what's happening, you're going to be fine. But, you know, we do have an enemy from within. We have some very bad people. And those people are also very dangerous. They would like to take down our country. They'd like to have our country be a nice communist country or a fascist in any way they can. And we have to be careful of that. But they're the greatest con artists in the world, because as soon as I said an enemy from within, they said, oh, he's saying an enemy from within.
This interview with Tucker was fairly late at night, and you can see just how much Trump is losing it after a long day of anger. He is even more aggrieved and out of control right here as he continues to lash out at his enemies from within, fixating on his grievances. It's the only thing he can seem to focus on at this point. As this election draws closer, the pressure Donald Trump feels is mounting, and he knows the stakes are higher than ever. He's not just running for president, he's running away from prison. Those who dare to hold him accountable, who are determined to protect our democracy, only make him angrier. And in this clip right here, we witness Donald Trump starting to unravel more and more.
You guys that were right, like you and Sean, and there were plenty of guys that were right. But so I said, but here's the thing. So with shifty shift, see, that's the weave. See, we start. You know about the weave, right? Start. As long as you come back to the right location. So what happens? You understand that?
Yeah.
Somebody said, does he ramble? I said, I don't ramble. I do the weave. I covered many, many subjects. And you always come back to the right. That's genius. There's a difference between rambling and genius.
We know from leaked text in the Dominion lawsuit against Fox, the Fox propaganda outlet, that Tucker Carlson has some pretty clear contempt for Donald Trump. He does not like him. He thinks he's an idiot. And so I think he's actually laughing at Donald Trump there, not with him, even as he tries to put on this performance and mock his weave. But beneath that facade, you can sense that he recognizes the truth. Donald Trump is losing his mind at this point. The anger is palpable and continues to ramp up. So before we dive into what he said about Liz Cheney, let's take a moment to check out what he had to say right here.
Then you say, why do they want to have transition? I call them transition operations by the thousands. If you just say, well, I'm thinking about it, they throw you onto an operating table, and you say, why do they want to have that?
Well, this is all Donald Trump is about: fear-mongering, anger, and hate. Attacks on marginalized communities, this is his playbook. He wants to divide us. He wants to enrage us. And we cannot let him succeed. That's why we are seeing so many Republicans speaking out against him. Among them is Liz Cheney, who, as I mentioned, found herself threatened by Donald Trump in a shocking clip right here. What he said was alarming, and you won't want to miss it.
I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Trump said he wants guns pointed at her face. This needs to be the biggest story leading up to Election Day. Donald Trump is threatening someone who isn't even his political opponent, just someone outspoken against him, a former Republican, a member of his own party. This is horrifying. This is who Donald Trump wants to be. This is who he has always been. We cannot allow him to wield the power to enact his angry and aggrieved agenda of going after his enemies. And Kamala Harris called that out perfectly, making a striking contrast right here. The implications of Trump's words are chilling, and we need to pay attention.
There is a huge contrast in this election. Just imagine the Oval Office in 3 months. Picture it in your mind. It is either but there's a choice that everybody has. So let's imagine it for a moment. It's either Donald Trump in there stewing over his enemies list, or me working for you, checking off my to-do list. You have the power to make that decision. It is your power. It is your power. So, 12 days. All right. So, okay, we got work to do. We got work to do. Okay, so Georgia, listen, it all comes down to this. We are here together because we know what is at stake. We are here together because we love our country. We love our country. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism to fight then for the ideals of our country and to fight to realize the promise of America. That's why we are here. And as the great Congressman John Lewis reminded us, democracy is not a state, it is an act. So Georgia, now is our time to act, and together we will win. We will win. We will win. So, Election Day. So, Election Day is in 12 days, okay? 12 days. And early voting has already started. So, Georgia, we need you to vote early. Please vote early. Go to iwillvote.com to get all the information you might need. Because, folks, the election is here. It is here. It is upon us. And the choice is truly in your hands. Your vote is your voice. And your voice is your power. So, Georgia, I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Of course, we shouldn't want a president with an enemies list, but it's crucial that we highlight this stark contrast. It's not just Kamala Harris calling out Donald Trump, she's also emphasizing that she has a to-do list while Donald Trump is consumed by his desire for revenge. He's out to get back at those he believes have wronged him. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris is focused on building a better future, turning the page and looking ahead with positivity, rallying a big tent, a vast coalition of people who stand with her because they want to see this country improve. And what is Donald Trump doing? He's looking out for himself, and that truth is buried in his lies right here. The implications are dire, and we must not ignore them.
What motivates you to keep going?
Who the hell knows? I don't know. I just want to be with people like this. There's so much love in this room. So much love, right? Isn't that amazing? No, it's pretty easy. I could have I have a lot of alternatives. I could be in a beautiful beach with the waves hitting me in the face and all that boring stuff. And I've been there, and you get very bored pretty easily. I have one thing in mind. It's called Make America Great Again. That's all I think about.
It's interesting that Tucker would even dare to ask this question of Donald Trump, expecting any response that was actually true. But as we always say, the truth is elusive. We know the reason Donald Trump is running for president. He could be lounging on some sun-soaked beach somewhere, yet he chooses to remain in the fray. Why? Because Donald Trump is running for president not just to reclaim power, but to escape the looming shadow of prison, to serve Putin, to craft another massive tax cut, to enrich himself and his family. This isn't just politics, it's survival. That is what Donald Trump is about. That is what he will always be about, nothing more, nothing less. And we saw that intensity tonight, the anger pouring out of him in waves, as we can see in this chilling clip as well.
Clinton, who's a smart woman, much smarter than Kamala, but doesn't lie as much. Hillary was a liar, a horrible scoundrel, but this one lies so much. And she's a low IQ individual. She doesn't even know she's lying, I'm telling you. This is not what you want for your president. That has nothing to do with me. This is not what you want. She's a very low IQ individual. She's dumb as a rock, and you can't have that. You can't have that. We love our country too much. You can't have it. We just went through 4 years of it. You can't have any more. A country can only take so much.
It is just a complete projection from a small, petulant child, Donald Trump. An angry, insecure little man who cannot control himself. But here's the alarming truth. He is losing it. He has lost it. He is spiraling out of control, and now he is more unfit than ever. We must act decisively. We have to ensure that we turn out and stop this deranged individual from getting anywhere near the Oval Office. This is a fight for our future, and we're going to be talking about it every single day on the show. If you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video, and if you've stuck around until the end, you can drop a blue bar in the comments. Because every voice counts. Until next time, stay vigilant, and I'll see you soon.